going on, team? Proof here, and today I have a video going over Mayhem Tiger because it's kind of been causing people some trouble, and I've seen it being used, not used, but I've seen people misunderstanding how his ability worked, and it's kind of causing myself and other people that are playing the deck a little bit of headache trying to get people to understand how he works exactly. So over time, I reached out to Bushy Road and asked them some questions, and just going to give you guys some of the stuff I got back from them and going over some other rulings and interactions and things like that to go along with it. So first I'm going to go through the emails, and the first one I sent was back in October around the time when Mayhem was released, and I did the recruit report video on him to get more information for him. And I was like, hello, Mayhem Tiger states, and as you can see on the screen, I put his ability up. And for those that aren't aware or not looking at it, he says Generation Break 1, Soul Blast 1. When your opponent's unit is put into the Guardian Circle during the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard, if he's charging, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less Guardians and retire it. And so I asked, like, does the skill work if my opponent calls a 0, 1, and 2 from their hand? Just like a baseline question. Does the skill work if my opponent intercepts with a grade 2 unit or other units that gain intercept? And does the skill work if my opponent has units such as Balloon Raccoon that could be called to Guardian Circle from other zones / back row? And so how they responded was, oh, it's kind of got smaller. Dear sir, madam, thank you for your email with regards to your queries. It will work in all the stated situations. Please do not hesitate, yada yada. And so if a unit is put onto the Guardian Circle from anywhere, whether it be from their hand, from their back row, from the bind zone, from any zone such as that, as long as it's grade 2 or less, Mayhem can retire it. So that's really important because some G Guardians such as Ludwig from Shadows, if Mayhem is attacking for 26 and more and the opponent doesn't have power on their Vanguard, the unit that they move from their field into the Guardian Circle is eligible to be retired by Mayhem Tiger. The same goes for the more Kumo G Guardians that pull them from deck and or drop zone. I forget how they work exactly, but I know that they pull units from other places and put them onto the Guardian Circle, and Mayhem can blow those up as well. So that's really important to keep in mind. And then I reached out to them again just for claritative purposes, because I was looking at some of the rules, and as you can see when I'm about to get into it, the distinction I want to look for is, are guards placed one at a time, or does my opponent put all the guard they want to use at one time and then Mayhem can activate after that? Because the distinction is going into this, if guard is placed one at a time, you need to think ahead to figure out which ones you want to blow up, versus if they just lay it all out at once, then you can pick and choose after they say they're done guarding to choose one with Mayhem's ability to then blow it up. So one side advantages the opponent a little more, one side advantages me a little bit more. So I was like, hello, Mayhem states, put his skill again, and then I said the updated Vanguard G playbook mentions in the guard step section, and I put the part that was relevant. The non-turn player can perform the following actions as many times as desired. And I guess I just kind of overthought it, and I just thought that meant that do they put it all at once or do they put it down one at a time, going back to what I talked about. And the section says, declare one of your units to guard for, choose a card from your hand and normal call it as rest to the Guardian Circle. After that, that unit's automatic abilities with the time and when card is placed will activate. Declare one of your units to guard for, choose a rear guard in your front row with intercept that is not being attacked, and move it as rest to the Guardian Circle. After that, that unit's automatic abilities with the time and when card intercepts will activate. And then I continue. My first question is, does this mean that my opponent places guard from hand and intercept as many times as they want, then Mayhem can resolve his auto? Or is it one at a time and then places guard, or then my opponent places another guard, and then Mayhem's auto can retire that one as well. And then my second question is in regards to quintet walls, do they place it all at one time or do they place it one at a time? And they responded, with regards to your query, for normal guarding, the non-turn player will place each unit to the guarding circle one by one, and the ability of Mayhem Tiger will be triggered and resolved after each unit is placed on the guardian circle. For units called by the effect of Quintet Wall, the units will be placed from the deck to the guard circle at the same time, and the ability of Mayhem will be triggered once for each unit placed on the guard circle this way. So what this means is, if I'm attacking with Mayhem Tiger and my opponent places one guard down, I can choose to retire it, and then I resolve Mayhem fully, either choosing to do so or pass an opportunity to do so, and then my opponent places a secondary guard down, and then it goes through the process again until they either choose to not guard anymore, or I choose to stop using Mayhem Tiger's effects completely. So passing priority back and forth until one of us is done doing the action. And then for quintet walls, what this means is you reveal the top 5 of your deck, you put the 5 into your guard circle at the same time, and then Mayhem can activate up to 5 times, and then you can pick and choose which ones you want to retire with Mayhem's ability to then either hit your opponent or not have enough to retire or to blow it all up, or he just doesn't hit. And so, this is really important, going back to the first scenario of the same time versus one at a time, and that only applies with the quintet walls. And then going into some other cards that came to mind for this, the first one coming to mind is the grade 1 no CL unit. For when she's placed on guard circle, you flip a card from your hand into the damage zone, and then you pick a card from your damage zone, put it back into your hand. Even if you retire her with Mayhem Tiger, since her trigger is being placed on guard circle, she still activates regardless. Where this is relevant is that if your opponent has, say, Gavrail on the board, it will add power to Gavrail, but it won't get the guard of no CL herself. So Gavrail will be 11,000 instead of being, or she'll gain +2 to be 13,000, or +4 if Nurse a Broken Heart is on the field at the same time, versus getting +2 plus the guard from no CL herself. And then the other guard interaction that's important to note well, of course there's perfect guards, and with perfect guards, similar to grade 1 no CL, their trigger is only when it's placed on guard circle. So even if you blow it up, you can still discard the card for the perfect guard to nullify Mayhem Tiger's attack. The other card that came to mind was Forbidden Starvator Rubidium, which I believe says when it's placed on guard, you can retire her to then redirect the attack if your Vanguard is Glendios. Since the condition for Rubidium's redirect is to be retired through her effect, when she's placed on guard circle, you can retire her with Mayhem first because turn player has priority before she can do her ability to retire herself, and then you can still hit the Vanguard. She won't get a chance to do her redirection as long as Mayhem Tiger is the one that's attacking. So that's important to keep in mind, meaning that Spike Brothers now have a good way to get around Glendios' redirection. Beforehand, it was kind of tough to get around it. We have to use attacks to attack their front row reverse units if they have them, and not if they don't have any in the back row. So those are the main things that came to mind for interacting with Mayhem Tiger himself, along with these questions here. So let me know if you have any other questions in regards to Mayhem Tiger's ability, and just put them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them, or one of the other people that watch this will get a chance to do it if I don't get to it in time. So hope you guys enjoyed. Excuse me, this went longer than I expected. Definitely look out for more. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be putting out some more stuff, but in the meantime, I'm getting ready for ARG Nationals, so I've been working back in the lab, doing my thing there. So, lost train of thought. Oh, like, comment, subscribe, check out for more. Got some more stuff coming. I got a really cool video idea in the works, so if my brain can put it on the screen, it should be enjoyable. And so until next time, peace, be easy.